I owe everything to my wife, and here's why. Because she respects me, right? Because she builds me up as a man, right?
That's right.
And so if she didn't do that, I would not be the man I am today, right? But love is different. Love is, yeah.
That's right.
Love is different.
My wife
right?
didn't nag me all the damn time about something.
How the frick would I get anything done, right?
Yeah.
How would I get anything done, right? Welcome to Mead Talk. Thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight.
See you later, Nathan. Appreciate you, brother.
So, Mead Talk is a place where everybody can come to the table, speak their minds.
Speak their mind.
Just so you know, before you enter Mead Talk, you must, or at least the people on stage, must have at least 3 glasses of mead.
This is my 6th.
He's a little bit further ahead than I am.
I don't lose.
You're like, what, on your 4th?
I'm on 4.
Yeah, and you can put your glass up here, man. You're cool. Yeah. So,
some people are weird about electronics.
No, you're cool. As long as you don't spill it, we're good. But yeah, so we have a special guest tonight. But before we get there, this is a place where everybody can come to the table, speak freely about their thoughts, about things that they might just be thinking. But as far as us, we're all on mead right now, so it's pretty interesting to see what comes out of mead drinking mouths, I must say. So tonight we have Nick Simmons with us. He's a
What's up?
Physical education teacher. We're going to be talking about just American school systems and school systems in general, and just everything about that and whatever comes to frickin' mind.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yep.
So
That's the plan.
that's the plan.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
We'll see what comes of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It gets really interesting, especially after we get a few more meads in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it always gets better towards the end. I trust you. Trust you, me. Wait, I'm already.
Trust all of us.
I'm already there.
Trust all.
So,
none.
Nick,
Yes.
how long you been in this field of work?
So, as far as teaching is concerned, this is actually year 1. But I'm on my 12th year of coaching football.
All right.
And back in, it had to be 2012. I went to school for exercise science, kind of the movement of the body, what the body does.
Mm-hmm.
Physiology, basically.
And that's somewhat, but I didn't really major in that. I just kind of wanted to. My goal was
Get a little bit more.
Get a little bit closer.
Yeah,
Oh, there I am.
There you
There
go.
I am.
If you can hear it out there, it's good.
Then I'm good. Really, my goal for that was, so I got out. I played ball myself. I got out of school, and decided that college really wasn't for me. I didn't want. I didn't want to take it all 4 years. So I dropped out, and I ended up playing like semi-pro ball for a little bit. And then once my body said,
Wait, semi-pro ball?
yeah, I played semi-pro football for a
Really?
couple years. Yeah. But at a point, my body goes, "Hey, no more."
Yep.
And
I
I was like,
understand.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
like, "Okay, body, you got it." So then that's when I got into coaching, and I was
Really?
like, "Well,
Those
I really."
who can't coach.
That's what they said on School of Rock,
Right?
That's what Jack Black said. That's,
Hey, you can't mess with Jack Black. Let's be honest.
That's it. So I decided, I was like, you know what? Well, I really enjoy coaching. I really enjoy being in the gym. I really enjoy helping people. So let me try to be a trainer. So that's when I went back to school, and I was like, hey, let me do this thing. So then I became a personal trainer for a little bit, got the certificate and all that jazz, and did that for a little bit. And then once, that kind of, I'll tell you what, you love something until it becomes a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
and you know what they say? When you do what you love, you never work a day
That's
in
a
your life.
lie. I don't care whoever said that was lying.
Okay, so here's what I've learned, okay? When you're able to delegate the things that you don't want to do in that job and then just do the things that you enjoy doing in that job, then you'll love what you do.
Right? Yeah, but here's the thing. In training, there was no delegating. It was me and my client.
Right.
You know? So, like, I got to the point where, man, I would just, like, wake up and be like, man, I really don't want to go to the gym today. Like, I really just don't want to be there. And so it became more of a job. So once my license or my certificate expired, I was like, oh, there it goes. You know, so I was like, I didn't care to re-up. But I stayed in, like I said, this is my 12th year of football coaching. And so I stayed in with that because I absolutely love, I tell people all the time, football is just the avenue. I just enjoy being around that type of environment, whether it could be track. I have no clue what I'm doing.
Right.
But the school I work for actually asked me to be a track coach. And if there's any track coaches watching, hit me up.
There you go.
I was going to say, hey, put one foot in front of the other.
There's a plug.
I mean, that's basically it. Like, that I told them, so we're in Columbiana, so our school's out in Columbiana. So everybody knows that, like, one of the only things in Columbiana is a Piggly Wiggly. So I was like, so practice for me is going to be, hey, leave the school, go touch the front door, Piggly Wiggly, and come back, and there's your practice. Because I don't really know what's going on.
Look,
but
I'll be honest. I know Columbiana because of Tin Top Barbecue. And
that place is delicious.
Their
Dude.
smoked wings are.
So I want to tell you right now. I want to tell you right now. So the next 3 weeks we'll be at home. Here's a little shameless plug for my school. We'll be at home next 3 weeks. But we have Tin Top. We work with Tin Top. So, like, our concessions is full of Tin Top.
Oh, wow.
And their barbecue nachos, phenomenal.
Adam.
So come on
I
out.
love their pulled chicken barbecue
Their pulled
nachos.
chicken.
Oh man,
It's very good.
Oh,
But come on out, get you some
This
barbecue.
is why it goes anywhere because it just, I mean, we're talking about barbecue now. In
That's it.
Columbiana.
It's but you're right though. Tin Top is delicious.
It is.
I will say that.
Absolutely. I
And,
love
they do
that
a
place.
fantastic job.
But yeah,
It's
so
pretty much the only place in Columbiana.
I think they used to have a golf course and that's no more. So like really, it's our
They
school.
got rid of the golf course?
Yeah, the golf course closed. Man.
Wow.
It's a big
Really?
pasture now.
I gotta call somebody because I know he was there all the time. That's my
Is it-
ex-boss.
Yeah, it's a big pasture now. It's
Gary?
It's
Yeah.
Gary.
Gary,
I'm sorry
dude.
about it, buddy. I was really upset. I
I
actually had
still
to
owe
give.
him a couple of bottles.
We used to work at Builder's First Source over there.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
See, so y'all know a little bit about. Yeah, it's such a small place, you know.
It is.
But yeah, so that's kind of how I got into what I was doing, man. I was so interested, and I used to lift heavily, like 2 times, when I was in high school. Not after I graduated, but like 2 times a day, I was in the weight room, man, and it just a body in motion stays in motion. I believe that since I was young.
Yes, sir.
Yep. I
And
agree.
so I've kind of been there, and to see the transition from when I was in school to now is incredible. And I say that to say, I got hired on, and in our league, we're in the AISA. In our league, we have a weightlifting competition every year. Well, our school has not partake in that weightlifting competition for years.
Yeah.
And so they were like, hey, when you come on, I want you to be a weightlifting coach. We want to get back to that competition. You know how much interest I had in that?
None.
0.
Yep.
At all. None.
You lived that life.
And I'm telling you,
Yeah.
because it was funny because the our AD at the current school that I'm at, he actually coached me in high school. And we talk about it all the time. I said, man, you guys had to lock the weight room when the bell rung to keep us out of it.
Right.
And now it's like pulling teeth to get them in it.
Yep.
Wow.
And so
Is it the generation nowadays, or is it like, what is it? You think?
I think that it's the generation.
It's more distractions or something, and
This is gonna step on some toes. And I'm
There
a
we
parent.
go.
I'm
That's
a
what we're
parent
here
too.
for.
I'm a parent too, but it's the parenting.
okay.
Yes.
It's parents now, and I've seen it coaching, is there's no way that was my child.
right.
There's no way he could have done that. Oh, no, but he did. And he's also not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no accountability. And so
Gotcha.
And so now it's like, hey, this is what we're going to do. And if they don't want to do it, they just won't do it. And it's sad to see because, I mean, they are in a generation where they were raised on screens. I mean, that's how it is. That's how it's gone.
And that's why I strongly believe we don't need participation awards.
Hey, I'm with you.
Yes.
I am.
There are winners and losers in
Yes.
life.
Well, my head coach.
Just because you lose at one thing doesn't mean you're not going to win at another.
That's it.
okay.
Well, my head
And
coach.
it makes you better because you have to push to become
Well, you
a winner.
have to get better.
Right.
Well, my coach in high school, he's like, guys, he said, yeah, it sucks. We lost. He said, but this is a game. There's a
Yep.
winner and there's a loser.
Exactly.
Look,
And
told-
you came out on the wrong side.
I
Yep.
told my sons, I said, look, if you put in half the effort that I put in at your age, you're going to be on top because
That's
nobody wants to put any effort in anymore.
That's it.
Like, that's it. Like, you just give that little bit of edge, and you're going to be the best paid. You're going to be the one that's sought after the most. You're going to be at the top of your game, and everybody's going to look up to you because you're going to be the best at everything because you put in just that little bit of effort that nobody else will. And it's so easy now. So easy to do.
Oh, I agree. It's
Frick.
you know,
We would own the world in this society if we were kids right now. Like,
Oh,
it would
I
be
know.
nuts.
it's funny you say that because just the other day we were sitting around. We have like a teacher's table at school, and I looked at one of the teachers and I was like, I would hate to be a child right now.
oh,
Like they face so much more than we did, and it's like like our parents. I remember my mom saying, "Hey, go outside, but when I call you, you better get back inside."
Right.
Well, now it's like you better go outside.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
go do something.
Get out of the house
Exactly.
now.
My
It's-
kids are like all up under us and stuff, and I'm like, go
Don't do
away.
that.
Why are you in my room?
I gotta get
There's no,
Dad,
no.
my tablet's not charging.
Look.
What's wrong with it? I don't care. Go away, bad
My
dream.
room
But
is
it's-
lava.
but
Okay,
it's
you're not
dead.
allowed to walk through the door. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a private place.
I'm telling you that it's there's so much difference, and especially in a school setting, because like I came in and no disrespect to anyone who taught the class or anything, because you know what they say, those who can't teach Jim. They say that all the time. Jack Black said that, and you know what? Hey, I'm taking that. That's fine, because here in the past it was, hey, you come to gym, you can sit in the bleachers, play on your phone. You can do
Right.
that. Like you can participate if you want to.
Right.
So when I came in, I said, hey, this is what we're doing. You have to participate because you can fail this class.
Right.
Boom.
And I got so much pushback.
I don't care.
I've got like parents and things, emailing me about, oh, well, you're punishing them. I'm not punishing them.
I'm making them do
It's
what they're supposed to
physical
do.
education.
Yes.
They're supposed to be
I'm-
physical.
Exactly. I'm teaching them, and I have a class. So like with it being a private school, like I have like a range of ages. Like I have
Right.
all the way from kindergarten all the way up to seniors. But I have a specific class where they're every day. They're like, Coach, why are we in trouble? Why are we in trouble? I'm like, I'm doing this to better you. And from day one to where we are right now, we've already seen significant leaps
What you
Right.
do,
of what they're able to do.
what you say is when they ask you why are you in trouble, you say because you suck.
I mean,
That's why, and I'm gonna make you better.
I'm going to make you better. Well, I mean, lack of better words. Yes, that's exactly what happens. But in all honesty, day one when I got in there, I said one of the most simple movements that we have, push-ups.
Yeah.
The majority of my class could not do push-ups at all,
Wild.
and now they're doing 15 to 20 in one
Wow.
go.
Right.
Okay.
And so it's like, hey, we're in trouble. You're making us do
Look.
this, and I'm like, whoa, look at what
But-
you're doing.
If they gotta
Right.
if they want to get into the army, they gotta do a significant amount of push-ups. Now that standard has lowered
Oh, well.
over the last 10 years, but
Yeah.
I remember, look, I had to at least do 40 push-ups in order to get in the army.
And that
I
was
mean,
in a time limit, wasn't it?
Yeah, in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So you have 2 minutes to do push-ups, 2 minutes to do sit-ups, and then it was your best 2-mile run,
Yeah, that's
right?
correct.
So
That's
that
correct.
was your PT test. And
Yeah.
so like mine was like I was like 65 push-ups, 70 something sit-ups, and then my 2-mile was in like 12 minutes to 12:30.
That's incredible. I'll never do
Right? So like but that was like normal, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like I mean my run was a little bit faster than most people, but my push-ups and sit-ups, that was pretty average.
I'm going to be honest with you. My miles are like 15. I'm not even going to lie to you. This body's not built for long distance.
Yeah.
But boy, you tell me to sprint, I'm going to get after it.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
it's
there's
just...
there's sprinters and there's runners. You
So,
know?
no, but I'm not a runner. Do you guys remember like the I know you do, the presidential fitness test?
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Kennedy. That was
They don't
Kennedy.
do
era?
that anymore.
Yeah.
It's gone.
That
And
was
so-
something that Kennedy put into place a
Exactly.
long time. Dude, that shit, I watched a documentary on that not too long ago. That was
Yeah.
nuts.
I think I watched the same documentary.
Yeah.
But like I got there and I'm like, can we do this? And they're like, oh well, we really don't want. Well, being a private school, like they're like, well, I mean, you can do it if you want. We don't care. but
Right.
you know, they don't do it in public school. And I'm like, man, why? And, you know, and it's because, well, he can only do 2 push-ups, but he can do 40.
And he feels
Hey, man,
bad because he can't do as
That's
many.
Participation
That's it.
awards.
It's all about feelings
Listen,
now.
listen. I couldn't climb that freaking rope in the gym for nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
I couldn't. But I wasn't mad about it.
Yeah.
Right.
I wasn't mad. But
But then if you practiced every day, you might have been able to do it, right?
I got like most of the way up. But I'm going to be honest. I never really. That wasn't for me. It was.
Well,
but you
there's
know
other
what?
things that you were probably pretty good at, right?
Yeah, my sit-ups and push-ups were incredible.
There you go. There you
But,
go.
you know, I just couldn't climb that stupid rope. And to this day.
That's a technique thing, just so
It
you
is.
know.
It very much. Well, and to this day, man, like, it's so funny because I got one of my classes doing pull-ups. And I'm like, oh, no, you're not doing it right. And they're like, well, you do them. Dude, I'm terrible at pull-ups. And I'm
So-
like, just do as I say, not as I do, because I can't do them. But I can also lift more than you, so shut up, you know?
Mm.
Well, yeah. So one of the things I always struggled with was sit-ups, right?
Yeah.
Because I had like a thin waist, but my arms and my legs were really built, right? Like as a kid. And but I've always had a pretty thin waist until I got a dad bod, you know. But
Dad bod.
it happens.
bod.
I'm working on it, you know. I'm working on slimming that down. But anyways, you know, my sit-ups have always suffered, you know. But it wasn't until I got into the Army and I got a team leader that was like hardcore PT, like, and no, we had to do certain things and stuff that I finally got better at sit-ups. Push-ups, I was freaking divine at, you know. Running, no problem. Sit-ups, I couldn't freaking do. And it was just because, like, my core was not that strong. But because he focused on certain things, I had to do it, or otherwise I was screwed. I got better at it, you know, and I'm extremely thankful for that. You know why? Because I probably have a lot less back problems nowadays because of that, right? So,
Well, and that's something that I try to preach. I'm like, guys, I'm like, you understand that with a strong core, you can do anything you want to do. Like, your leg strength is going to improve when you have a stronger core.
Yes.
Your chest strength is going to improve when you have a stronger core. It starts there. And so, because I'm the same way. I grew up with a very weak core. I was just like, listen, my legs were strong, and that's in my head, I was like, that's all I need.
Right.
It's not true. But that's kind of where they are. They're like, oh, well, I can do this. I can get by society.
I was going to say, it's all about
That's it.
So let's talk a little bit more about physical means, like doing things physically, how it benefits you, stuff like that, and then we'll get into like just school systems in general, because I really want to talk a little bit about that, because we talked a little bit about it and what we think about the school systems nowadays and stuff, and it's pretty interesting. I think, you know, we all kind of share a similar opinion, but so like physically, doing things physically. So my background is in alternative medicine, right? So I know that like physical exercise is incredible for you, right? Even a little bit every day, just that little bit every single day, whatever that you can do, working, stretching, working those muscles out, tendons, everything. Your muscles actually release some antidepressant chemicals, like when you work out. And a lot of people nowadays, they suffer from anxiety, antidepressants, and stuff like that. Look, if you just exercise a little bit every day, most of those issues go away. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you blah, 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 you know, bullshit. But,
Same.
yeah. But look, I've gotten kicked off of YouTube for something like that before, because
that's
I put
crazy.
out a list of things that can help cure cancer, and they kicked me off for that. So
That's
I've
'cause they're not
had
making money.
yeah. Well,
We won't
I
get
worked
into
with
that.
doctors and cancer and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
a long story, but
That's a whole
Anyways.
other podcast.
it is.
a whole
It is.
other Mead Talk.
Whole other
That's-
meat
that's a
talk.
whole
That's
other
what.
meat talk.
Yeah,
That's
that's what
it.
we say on here.
That's what we do.
A
That's what
whole
we do
other meat
here.
talk. But you're right. You're right. In like I said, from a young age, I believe body in motion stays in motion. So, you know, I've seen people. My grandmother's preached for years. She said, as long as you keep your back and your feet in good shape, you're okay.
Ah, okay.
And I'm like, okay, well, how do you do that? You keep them moving. Don't just sit around all the time. Don't be on them. Yeah, they're
Okay.
gonna ache. I get that. I complained about it today when I was at work. My knee's been hurting me for like a week, but I gotta
Careful
keep
with
it
that.
moving
Careful
because
with that,
it's not you know, it's not a serious thing. It's not like I tore my ACL. It's just man, I'm not as good as I once was. You know, like I'm not. That's just all it is.
That's the whole difference in the generation gap. Like, you know, when we're younger and we hurt ourselves, what was it? Walk it off.
That's
Yeah.
Walk it off.
So a year and 8 months ago, I tore my meniscus. Well, okay, so I had a minor tear in my meniscus when I was in Iraq, right? And then I just dealt with it for like 10 years. And then I finally, or it was 11 years, right? And so it finally just ripped. And tore my meniscus, ACL, LCL, MCL, like basically everything in my
all
fucking
the
knee.
L's.
Yeah, all the L's.
All the L's.
All the ligaments there. And so they told me I wasn't even going to start walking in 9 months later, right? They told me 9 months at minimum till I could actually get up back on my feet. And about a month and a half later, I was like back at work, you know? I mean, I was limited, you know? And I tore my meniscus probably a couple more times, or probably like, 7 more times or something at job sites and stuff. And I'm just like, give me a task share. I'll just roll around and do what the fuck I can, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, you can't just stop. You know, I was laid up in bed for like 3 freaking weeks. You know, I couldn't do anything. But as soon as I could do something, I did it. And I kept trying, and I kept trying, and I kept pushing.
I think that's the difference in the generational gap is, so when I tore my meniscus, I was bedridden, but I was pissed. I was so pissed.
Mad.
Why can't I get up and fucking do what I need to do?
Dude, yeah.
And when I could, it's like, fuck yeah, let's go. The opposite is for the newer generations. It's, oh, I'm bedridden. Yay, I'm just going to lay here.
What can I get out of this?
Suck everything.
Yeah.
Well, I go to, like, you've all seen it, the famous flop. I mean, you see a professional athlete get touched, and then they're and there they go.
I'm dying.
What is that? And that's why, going off on a little rabbit hole here, but my favorite sport for years has been hockey. I love hockey.
Yeah.
I love the sport of hockey. And I actually just talked to my dad about this 2 days ago. The reason I like hockey so much is because those guys do it for the love of the sport. And those guys can have a broke jaw and play the rest of the game.
Fuck each other.
They don't care. So to me, it's like, that's what you need, especially if you're getting paid that kind of money.
Right.
Suck up your broke now and get back in the game.
I've seen some rugby games just like
rugby's
they screw each other up, man.
My favorite. I got kids that are in my class.
Does anybody need anything before I get up and go get another drink?
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right,
I'm good. I have some kids in my class. We don't offer it at our school, which I wish we did, but we just don't have the interest. But I have some kids in my class who play lacrosse, and I'm like, I respect you guys, because that is one of the most brutal things I have ever seen. And it's like, man, you're putting in that effort. Man, I can't be mad at you.
Right.
If you come to school and you're like, man, I had a lacrosse game, I'm sore. Hey, man, I believe you.
Right.
But if you come and you're like, I had a basketball game, I'm sore, I'm going to be like, hey, man, I don't
care. Get up. Walk it off.
I'm sorry, but I do not care. Like, I don't. And it just, and I think that goes, and just like Mal was saying, I think that goes throughout ages, because like I have friends who are in the armed forces now, and no disrespect to the armed forces, I highly respect you, and I thank you a lot for being. My dad was in the Army. I respect you. That's just not a life for me. So if you do it, thank you. But I have friends who are currently in the armed forces. They're like, man, my PT's a joke.
Yeah.
And it's just how it's gone.
That is.
It's just how physical. And I'm not going to use the word education, but that's just how physicality's gone over the years.
It's gotten to a point, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's woke.
You're right.
It's woke.
Yeah.
It's let's cater to the classes. Let's cater to this and that, and that's our U.S. military has been as strong as it has been because we have men.
That's right.
We have people, and by people I mean men, willing to go on the front line and die. That's their job.
Correct.
We can't have men that think they're winning signing up and saying, I'm fighting for this country. No, the fuck you're not. You have a uniform, but you're not fighting anything. Now that's a whole other Mead Talk about.
That's another
war
Mead
and-
Talk. Yeah, but
Yes.
but just I was talking about like the PT side of it. I have a friend. She was in the Navy, and she was like, we would have PT,
Yeah.
and she said I would leave PT and go to the gym.
Right. Because PT was not
God.
PT.
To me, I feel like if I left PT, I'm going to sleep.
Right.
But it's just that's just where we are.
Yes.
And
I remember a time where physical training was pushing yourself until you threw up. And if you didn't throw up, then you obviously weren't pushing yourself enough, right? And so it's like every day I freaking threw up until I got finally like acclimated to it, right? And then I was like, okay, I'm not going to throw up this time.
I have a dad. He's probably one of my favorite dads, but he's like, he'll come to me.
Dads?
He'll come. He's awesome, man.
Okay.
But he'll come to me after practice and be like, "You guys didn't go hard enough for practice," and I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "He's jamming out in the truck. Like you didn't go hard enough for practice,"
Right.
and I was like, "All right, well there you go."
Yeah.
So I think it's important simply because
You're talking about a dad of one of the
one of the players.
Gotcha. I thought you were saying you had a dad like your dad.
No.
I was like, you had multiple dads. Wait.
Yeah, man, it's crazy done that. I'm just kidding. No, I got my one and only dad. He's
All right.
awesome. I'm probably going to tell him now that I shouted him out. I'm going to tell him to watch this. Love you, Dad.
He's on YouTube.
But yeah. So I got a dad. He'll come up and be like, "Hey man, you guys didn't go hard enough in practice," and we're like, "Why not?" And he's like, "Well, he's jamming in the truck, so like you guys need to go harder." And I'm like, "Hey man, I agree," And so it's just something that we've seen a progression of because like even like my daughter will be 2 in December, so I'm pretty new at this whole father thing.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm doing it right. I don't know, probably not, but
There's not a handbook for it.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. You
but,
just kind of do what you do.
But I try to get her as active as I can. Like just, hey, let's go outside. She can't do much, but throw a ball, run around. Like let's get active.
From what I understand, when she's a teenager, have a lot of guns and scare a lot of guys. That's what I understand.
Hopefully I'm gonna raise her up to where she scares a lot of guys.
Exactly. That's key.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I won't have to worry about it.
That's okay. But you also have to raise her up to be able to respect the right man, right?
That's correct.
And that's hard. That's so hard to do, right?
That is.
So look, that's where I'm struggling with right now. My daughter's 11.
Yeah.
She's about
She's
to be
getting
12.
to that age.
That's
so I'm like
that's a
struggling right
critical
now.
age.
It's like, okay,
But just
she's
in case,
already
we've got
mean
a
as
lot
hell,
of
right?
guns.
Yeah, she's already mean as hell, right? And I'm like, gosh dang, I want her to be mean as hell because I don't want any guy to be able to just, sweep her off her feet, whatever. And I'm like, but if it is the right guy, I want her to be able to respect him the way that my wife respects me and, gives me that same, respect. Because honestly, let's be honest, love, it's all right. We all enjoy love. It's great, and everything. But we really want respect as guys.
I mean, yeah, that's it. No.
I mean, we want respect unconditionally like we give love unconditionally to women, right? And so that's what, that's a big difficult thing going on, I think, nowadays with relationships, right? A lot of women don't understand that aspect of the relationship where, like, we don't really care that much about the love part, right? Yeah, we care that we love you, but we don't care to receive it back because it doesn't really mean that much to us getting it back, right? And that's a whole other Mead Talk. But
whole other Mead Talk. We're not gonna get it. We're not gonna get into that. But like I said, she'll
wait, hold on one sec. So just so
we got a microphone up there.
Hey, look,
for you to
everybody
comment into,
knows
Wade.
there's a microphone at the bar.
Yes. Y'all can
so if you want to
jump
get
in.
participant, and I forgot to say this at the
But
very
I
beginning.
feel like through that little
If you want-
section, there was comments wanting to be made. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
And
be
so,
honest.
hey, Terry, you hand that mic out right there, and you give that mic, and just make sure you switch the switch on it to turn it on.
Yep.
When you're done, turn it off, and we're good.
We would love to hear her
but yeah.
wonderful voice.
Yeah, Terry always does a little mic check for us
Yep.
on that.
Where's it at, Terry?
on
You
that
got
deal
it?
right there. You
Give
got to
it
switch
us,
it
Terry.
on. There it is.
there it
There it
is.
is.
Testing.
There
Testing.
it is.
There it
Miss
is.
That's the one we're
Terry.
looking for.
Testing.
Yeah.
Testing.
But yeah, if anybody wants to clue in, we're always
hand it to Miss Mary Cherry, right
like
there.
we said,
Mary Cherry.
like we said, we love
Hey
we love the
guys,
input.
How y'all doing?
Miss
Hey,
Miss
best
there
ever.
she is.
You can interject at any time.
Give us your opinion, please.
I mean, all I heard
Uh-oh.
was about women.
Yeah. That's about
we
all you'll
love
hear.
women.
They're so lovely.
We love women. That's not sarcasm. That's we love women. So continue.
But I felt like you kind of said we were moody.
You're moody?
Who said that?
And I like we
Women being moody? No, there's no way in history.
No, we're just
women are
trying
moody.
we're trying to raise up women to respect the right man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not the
To
There's a-
respect.
there's a
well,
lot of,
okay.
uh,
So when they find a man to actually respect them,
That's
not just love them.
So for
And
example,
here's why. Can I?
earlier you mentioned that he is king and you are queen. Right?
Wait, what?
Right.
Did you say that?
She did.
Did you say
She
that?
said that to me,
we're
and
in the
now
midst
Wade
of
knows.
royalty.
And now Wade knows that he is king.
He is amazing.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I think she was talking about
We
the
helped
royalty
create him.
Wade, honestly, I did not marry the correct man in the first place.
Right.
He
Oh,
is
we've been there.
amazing.
Yes.
I mean, I had it not man, but
I
woman,
would marry
yeah.
him too. He would buy me all the alcohol I want.
Shameless royalty club plug.
And he's got a nice little scruffy beard. I mean, come on. What is wrong with Wade?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Absolutely nothing. My second.
Yes.
We're all listening. We're all listening right now.
This is awful.
Okay, so
Everybody.
wait, you said we said something about women being moody.
Yes.
Didn't
We
you?
did.
No,
Yes.
I didn't.
What's
I
up,
didn't
buddy?
say anything
What's up,
like
brother?
that. I don't remember anything like that.
Get you some mead, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anyway,
Hello. What do you
that's
want?
my buddy right there.
What do you
Oh,
want to drink?
sweet.
Yeah, that's my homie right
Hell
there.
yeah.
All right, then.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, we didn't say anything about. Did you guys say anything about women being moody?
Well, I have to go back, but I don't recall saying anything.
I don't recall it. Do you? Okay, so
Oh, no.
I
women
think.
are moody.
Okay, yeah. There we go. Now it's said.
Women have the right to be moody. We push out the baby.
Hey, my
Okay,
wife-
yeah. No,
my
that's
wife-
totally
my-
cool.
Hey,
If
listen,
my
that's.
wife doesn't contest the women being moody,
Hey, but listen,
then she lying.
listen. I'll agree to that
Yeah,
for a moment.
yeah, totally.
For a moment.
You don't
then
push
how
them out
long?
their entire life.
Well, no.
But
Wait a minute.
But
What?
Hold on.
but
Hey, I
we
love my mama.
usually take care of everything throughout the baby's
Wait a minute.
entire life.
Yes,
Yes.
you do.
So no matter how
So,
hard
but-
I say, oh my God,
Yep.
woo,
We're on the same
the
page
guy
here.
is like,
So hey,
That's
you wanted
it's
to
incredible.
have them, you should take care of them.
The guy was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
you told me
But,
not to wear
okay.
a condom.
but hold on. So I completely agree. Wait a minute.
Right?
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Before we
Come on,
get
Nick.
hold
I'm
on
trying.
before we get into any of that, okay?
trying.
So I
there.
completely 100% believe that women are allowed to be moody all the time, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
for sure.
and here's why.
Women are
Wait a minute,
majority
wait a minute.
Emotions.
Wait
You don't have to
wait
get
a minute.
closer to talking to the
Wait.
microphone.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
You can have a seat.
Wait a
You
minute.
can have a seat.
Wait a minute. But here's why. Okay? Here's why. She's joining. Hey, we have a second
Hey, you know
guest.
she's about to be a star on YouTube,
Hey,
right?
look,
Yeah.
we have a second guest on you on our channel now.
Guess
but hey,
guess number one, really.
but guys, but hold on, listen. So this is why I believe so, and it's because women base their entire existence and they build their entire existence based off of emotions. Men
He's not
build
lying.
their entire existence off of logical thinking, right?
They use their
So
brain.
here's the difference, and this is where we have to learn to work together and find some kind of common ground, right? So women
He's not
are way
wrong.
more emotional about everything, right?
Yes.
So everything is a feeling. It's how they resort to their feelings.
When they see a
Men,
dead
That's-
possum on the
that's
side
right.
of the road,
Men,
they feel bad for
they
it.
feel
Men
bad
are
for
like,
it, right?
He's
Well, he
not
shouldn't have tried to
wrong.
cross the road.
I'm not wrong, right? And
He's not wrong.
that's just it's not okay. That's not my personal thoughts
he's
per
not
se.
wrong.
It's what I've observed,
We're
and
very
it's
rarely wrong.
and it's just statistics. Statistical, like looking at statistics and seeing the differences between men and women, right? And psychology, all sorts of different studies across the world, right? So you look at all these different studies and you see the differences between men emotionally, women emotionally, men logical thinking, women logical thinking, and you compare all of it, right?
My
And so-
wife will be the first to say I have no emotions.
Listen,
Yes.
So I
It
had
is a
to
lie.
admit
She
to
is
my
shaking
wife,
her head yes.
look, my
I bet
wife
you're
and I have
wrong.
been together for about 10 years now, and I had to admit to her this last weekend that I have some emotions.
that's nice.
Yeah, some. I
But-
did not. I
well-
did not say.
Hey, we're not at the
right.
10-year mark yet, so I won't admit it yet.
That's fair. That's fair.
Right?
And she's
I will
asking-
say-
she's what? Can't you show me? I said it's not my job to show emotion. It's my job to protect the family. If
Listen.
somebody walks in this house that
That's
we
true.
don't know,
I'm in agreement.
I can't show emotion.
That's
I
it.
have to take care of
That's it.
business.
Well, I will say,
That's my
listen.
job.
I'm going to side with the women here, real quick, and then physical or education. We need to get back on that. It's another Mead Talk. But I'm gonna agree with the women here.
Yes, a lot of other meat talks.
I'm an idiot. Like I'll just do stuff, and my wife's like, "Hey, did you think about that?" And I'm like,
Nope.
"No."
Nope.
So she's
That,
right.
but that's why
I'll-
men live less
Oh no, for sure.
than women.
For
yeah.
sure, 'cause
women
I'm like,
live
oh,
longer
it's a-
than men for a reason.
Yeah, it's a great idea until it's not.
There's other
Right.
factors in that
It's
too.
just the, it's
Exactly.
the simple fact of hold my beer and watch this shit.
I mean,
A lot of people
I
don't
do
come
that.
back after to watch.
yeah,
the
yeah,
I don't
do
say
that
hold
often.
my beer. I say hold my mead. But
Hold
yeah.
my mead.
Yeah, it was just a.
Hold my mead.
Oh,
Would
we
you
got
like-
the ma-
What would
we
you
got-
like to
we
say
got the
down
Mary
there?
Cherry up here. Okay,
Hold my mead.
give it to
Mary
us.
Cherry. You love
Here
that
we
Mary
go.
Cherry,
She
don't
is
you?
cracking
breaking
her
it
I
in
do
neck.
love the
It's
Mary
pretty
Cherry.
good. Have you had the
She-
It's my
pineapple?
favorite.
She cracked
Shameless
her
meat
neck.
plug, by the way, right
It's
here.
just
been
getting
gone for
serious.
a long time, and I missed it.
All
Shameless
right.
meat plug.
Serious.
Next cracked. Let's go.
But
Uh oh.
my neck always hurts though. Stress.
That's the first time I've seen that. I'm just saying.
There's a lot. First time I've seen what?
The first time I've seen you crack
The
your neck.
little
Like, you're
neck
getting
crack.
serious.
Oh, I am.
Like we need to set up a ring and we need to go gloves and everything.
I've been in therapy for a long time.
You've been in therapy for a long time.
Yeah, I have it a long time.
That's another meat talk. Therapy.
Is Mary Cherry helping?
That's another
Yeah.
meat talk.
Because of us men? No, don't get men confused with bitches. Okay.
Look, so just so you know,
Don't get men confused with bitches.
Numero uno. Numero uno. He said, please keep your mouth shut. I do not want to move.
Well,
So
he's like,
I
I want to go home.
I want to make it home. Is what he's saying.
He's in the top 25 right now in the nation
Yeah.
right now.
Like number
And by nation, I mean
I will
Ivy
say
League.
he's also number one because he never gets frustrated or angry.
Number one in your hearts and number one in our
Well, all
bar.
of the above.
Number one.
All of the
Hey.
above.
Number
Because
three
Wait
on
till-
the
hey.
track, baby.
There is a huge difference between like somebody who like you're meant for and then somebody who you're not meant for. So
Okay.
when
I mean,
So-
I get
so
that.
for
they
example,
piss you off,
So
like,
Wade
Okay, so I have a
Wade-
difference of opinion.
Wade can
I can piss them off. But
yes,
Look,
but
look,
Wade can tell you, hey, this is how it's going to be, and you'll be
Yeah.
like, yes, I agree.
I-
Even if you don't agree, you'll be like, okay, yes, I agree.
But then if you're not meant for
because
each
you
other, and then
because
Then it's
you
gonna
what?
be a big
Because you
fight.
respect them, right?
Yes, but I
Yeah.
don't respect them.
I got a difference of opinion there.
So
Yes.
I've had,
Okay.
but I've had people tell me, respect is earned, right? If
Yeah.
if you respect
Yes.
me, I respect you, and
Yes.
I have to say that. Well, that should not be the case in a marriage, right? So, a woman should respect their husband unconditionally, just as a man unconditionally loves their wife, right? And so those are the two exchanges that have to happen in order for a healthy marriage, right? Now, if a man is being a leader and being that particular role that he's supposed to be, then he should honestly get the respect that he needs regardless, right?
So describe a leader.
That's a very difficult
that's
thing to
a meat,
describe.
that's another meat talk, I think.
Yeah,
I'll
well,
be
it's
honest
somebody
with you.
who's,
Hold on, I'm
you
gonna
know,
grab my
well,
phone.
okay.
I've
There's
got-
different types of leaders, right? So a leader in a relationship
I
is
have
somebody who's
scripture on
strong,
this. Let me go
logical,
grab my
not
phone.
emotional, right? So wait, yeah, if you got that, Robert?
That's definitely. How we get from
Your
physical
phone's over there on the camera.
Hey, it's totally right there.
Yeah, it's filming. Yeah.
It's hey
we
phone.
we have a computer right here.
We-
We have
Who'da-
one
who'da
right here
thought?
where you can look up wherever you want, Robert.
Who'd have
right
thought?
here.
The Apple product we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the one that you guys were dissing.
Whoa! We weren't dissing that Apple
I
product.
know, just the phones, just the
No,
phones.
yeah, exactly.
So
So
I'm under the impression that men and women are different, right?
Yes. Facts.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
that's crazy.
Crazy.
I'm gonna get something.
I mean, who would
Are
have
you
thought
guys
that?
good?
You need something?
I'm gonna get something.
I'm
All
good.
right.
I appreciate it.
I'm good.
Robert doesn't ask all the time. That's why I asked.
I do now
Yeah, he does now because I made a point of it.
because he's an asshole.
No, because it's courteous. It's being nice, okay? But I think that you know, that's just my general thoughts that men and women are different, right?
Yes.
And it's okay, right? It's okay for men and women to be different. I think that some things women are better at, some things men are better at, like having babies, right? Women are a lot better at having babies, right? Because they're the only ones that can do it, right? There's no such thing as a man having a baby. Now, people nowadays might try to tell you that a trans man can have a baby. That is not a reality, right? So, only women can have babies. Only men can just contribute to that process, right? Now, there are a lot of things that men are better at than women, and that's okay. It's okay. That doesn't mean one is better than the other. Now, statistics show a lot of different things, and if for men, but the problem is that nowadays, geez, you're rocking my mic over here, man. What do you got going on? Are you trying to sit in a seat up here?
Yes, she wants me to be in the picture.
Okay. Look, you're in one of the pictures for sure. So we got two different cameras over here.
Because I know.
Um,
I'm a woman.
hey, it's totally okay. You could have sat right in front of us and just blocked our view. We'd have been cool. But I appreciate you coming up on stage. I need to just make room for people to come up on stage now, don't I? Sweet. What? When? Since when? When? During the Mead Talk? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we're not going to just like all move in the middle of a Mead Talk. Well, I didn't expect her to come up here, okay? That was totally random. Jeez,
She can sit
Lord
anywhere.
Almighty.
She has a wireless mic.
Yeah, that's the whole point of her being in the audience.
So
Yeah.
fancy.
Anyways,
And Wade's like, go away, bad dream.
but we're so thankful.
Exactly.
But we're
Wade
so
was like,
Actually, since you are a royalty member, you get 50 more points for being here for Mead Talk.
he
how
already
many
knows.
points does he get for me?
He already knows.
For you,
You for me.
still 50.
He should get 100.
100.
100.
100.
But you're not a member too.
Yeah.
But
You're both members
Oh,
by
we got
association,
you.
though.
Yeah, that's a good point. She wants more Mary Cherry. Are you driving home?
I do.
Are you driving home?
But,
I
anyways,
live right through the woods.
You're going to attempt to.
I live right through the woods. I
All right.
literally live right there.
well, look, we got about 20 minutes left, so we really need to get to the education system. We need to really talk about. Well, there is
You really
a.
want to talk to me about the education system?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Yep.
Nick, she's taking your place right now. I'm just saying.
I have children. Who is Nick?
Nick's,
the guest.
Nick's our guest.
I know,
Yeah.
but he left.
No,
right
he's just
there.
getting another
I know,
drink.
but, like,
Yeah.
All right.
what is it?
So,
His
he's
title's
a
Nick.
physical
Yeah.
education teacher at
He
a
teaches in
private school.
Columbiana,
right?
a private school.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Super fancy. But
He gets paid like 30 grand a year. He's high up there.
yeah. So
I'm sorry, Nick.
but so
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
We know.
So one of the things we talked about, Nick, was about how messed up the educational system is nowadays, right?
Correct.
So this is my belief, okay? Everybody can contradict it as they will, but I believe that the current educational system in the United States is an indoctrination center for the young minds of America, right? So they teach all the wrong things in all the wrong areas, and they really don't teach you anything about life skills or how to live on this planet at all. And here's the
Facts.
reason why. We all live in luxury right now, right? We have so many things at our disposal that we don't even know how the frick show up at our door half the time, right? We don't know how our food gets to us. We don't know how this gets to us. We don't know how Amazon delivers this to us. We don't know anything about how these things just approach us in everyday life. We don't know how our car works. We don't know how this works. We don't know anything, right? And so half the time, most of the people on the earth, or not on the earth, but in the United States, are just willy-nilly moving throughout their lives, don't even give a crap about how these things work. And I think it's extremely important. Why? Because it's completely destroying us as human beings and the environment around us. Now, I am not one of those hippie-loving tree huggers, you know, although a lot of people call me a technologically advanced hippie. That's not me, right? So I'm one of those that's just extremely logical. I know I'm going on a really long breath rant right now.
You
but,
are. It's fine.
but-
It's fine.
It's quite all right.
You know, I believe that there are much more important things that we should learn. Instead of trying to reach Mars and colonize Mars, we should be learning how the frick to live on this planet coherently with more people involved,
Fact.
right? So I believe that we have the capability of having
Thank you.
10 times the population that we have on Earth, but if we were to do it right, we would all live just fine with plenty of resources. That's just me. And it's just me because, it's not just me. There's plenty of other people out there that believe the same thing. I'm a permaculture designer, right? So, which next week we'll get into permaculture with Shane Kelly, which was the old owner of Interstellar Beer. He'll be here next week as our guest. Super cool guy, but he's gotten into gardening, and I'm trying to help him with his gardening aspirations, right? So, but it's, you know, permaculture shows how we could use a third of the land to grow way more food, 7 times more food than we have right now, right? If we were just to do it correctly, the way that nature does it. So if we follow nature's laws, we do things the way that nature does it, which in my opinion is the way that God designed it, we would have plenty of resources for everyone to enjoy. We'd have excess, right? But that's just me, you know, and I think that our education system should mimic that, right? It should mimic one that is the core of the education system should be derivative of health, how to live on this earth and where your food comes from. Obviously, language and mathematics, right? Science and history is all integrated into all of that. I think, honestly, that electives nowadays are more important than our core subjects because they actually freaking teach you something, right? I think our core subjects are just minimal to that, right? Because the electives are something that are practical application for what you actually learned. If you don't have any practical application of it, how do you have any common sense to do anything with it? You know, it's just freaking crazy to me. Sorry about this rant. I'm just that's where I'm at with it. I know everybody has their own opinion on it, and my mic is filling up with spit right now. But I mean, like, it's just that's where I'm at with it. You know.
Well, and I'm being in the system. I mean, being in a private institute is way, to me, it's more beneficial than being in a public institute because we are able to do what we want to do and teach what
awesome.
we want to teach, as opposed to being a state standard. But the graduation rate in America right now is at about 85. It's like 85.3 or something like that. So it's, for one, I feel like it should be 90 or higher personally. But of that 85.3, how many are we actually failing? You know what I mean? Because listen, we all learned in high school. We all learned. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Like, we all learned.
Yeah.
How
I
often?
say that.
How often do you use it?
Well, dude, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
you probably use it more than me. Let me just put it that way. You probably use it a little more than me. But in reality, how much do we all use it? We really don't.
But here's
But guess
the
what
thing.
I would benefit from, which is a class that we teach at our school, is
Where do you teach?
so I'm at a private school in Columbia, Cornerstone, and we have a financial algebra class, and that
There you go.
teaches them, hey, this is how you do your taxes. This is what you look like in your bank. This is so they'll be, because when I graduated high school, I got all this money for graduating, which is really, first off, really weird. People just give you money for graduating, but whatever.
I got $1,200
Yeah.
when I graduated in high school, and
Yeah.
I was like,
But my mom was like, hey, we got to do something with all this money.
Where'd that money come from?
And then I put
my relatives,
family.
like,
Oh,
if
shit.
Family.
Man, I
People-
wish my relatives would have given me
People
something.
who claim they love me.
Yes.
But my mom was like, we got to do something with it, put it in the bank. But I had no clue after that what to do. I was just like, okay, well, this place has all my money. And that was the end of it until I learned what exactly that was doing for me. And I believe that even at the core, right there, at the start, hey, if I put my money into an institute, what's it going to do?
Yeah.
I feel like we need to be teaching that.
Yeah.
Because I was raised on the whole coffee can thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to put my money in a coffee can and boom.
Bury it in the backyard.
That's it.
Buy a
put-
metal detector with the rest of it.
We put it on, coffee can on top of the refrigerator is what we did.
Don't you have a metal detector?
But
Wait.
there you go. Boom. Coffee
some
can,
lamb we need
coffee
to go
can
search.
banking right there. But it's just that. And I agree with you. So, like, with some of the school systems that are coming up in the area, their elective classes are incredible. Like, the things that they're able to take now
Yeah.
are incredible.
Are you talking about Thompson or other schools? Because most of the extra stuff that they're teaching is taught by the.
Oh, for sure.
So the academy, it's not even. They don't even really learn any. They don't really even learn anything. Because
I get that.
it's the coaches.
Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, like it's one of the oldest classes I guess you could take. I mean, I heard my grandparents talked about taking it, but like wood shop, like you don't hear that very often these days. But even learning that craft, because my uncle, he's an attorney, but at the same time, when he gets home, that's what he does. He makes extra incredible money making these wood, whatever they may be, beds,
Yeah.
benches. Like, he makes a good money because he learned how to do that. And to me, like, the tech school is one of the coolest things to me.
Yeah.
Because these guys are learning. I mean, you go to tech school to be a police officer, a firefighter, a welder.
Yeah.
And learning these things, my dad always said, hey, man, go to a tech school, learn a trade. My dad has said that for years.
Trades are highly
Completely
underrated
agree with you.
now.
So why shouldn't we be teaching that in our public school system?
Completely agree with you.
What we should be, yeah.
Like, you should make
that's
a
what I'm saying.
decision. Are you going to go to college and
Well,
do this?
honestly,
or are you going to pick a tech school and do this?
so
Like,
I
what-
think
What are you excited about?
So I think that everything should be built around a garden. Okay, this is what I think, right? Because the core of life is how you feed yourself, how you get yourself the right water, how you get the right shelter, right? How you get the right family, right? And how you get the right community. All of those things are the core of how you live a long, healthy, happy life, right?
He's not lying.
Those-
Like, it's like food to live, not food to enjoy what
Yeah.
you're doing, right?
So
Yeah.
so those are the core of life. We should be first teaching those aspects of life, and everything else should be designed around that, right? So like we should have history involved in that. So like, okay, planting a garden or doing a garden or whatever you want to do. Well, okay, how are we gardening 1,000 years ago? How has that evolved? What was the culture around that time? How did it evolve because of this war that got involved? How did this come to be because of this? That's how you learn your history. Okay, cool. Character traits. How did this religion contribute to the character of a culture, or how did this particular culture of people contribute to this, and all these different things that we could learn about history, science. How did we learn about how plants grow and develop and stuff like that? That could be, and incorporated into science, the biology, right? All of those different things, like everything English, the English language. Well, okay, how do you communicate this to another person? Blah, blah, blah. Like all of these things can be incorporated around a core subject, which is how to live on this earth in community.
That's correct.
With each other. And that is where, so I had a chance when I was in California, I had a chance to take over a small school system and actually build a core curriculum. And I didn't take it because I didn't have enough money to get involved into it, right? Had I had enough money, I would have completely developed this system of education in California. They probably would have accepted it because they're all a bunch of tree huggers out there, right? But let's be honest, I was out there too, I'll accept that, but I think that we could completely reshape our core education in our electives and everything into being something that could be way different.
Well, and I think, like, if you go back to the core of what we were or what we are as human beings, regardless of how you look at it, and what I mean by that as far as, like, religion's concerned, however you look at it, we were hunters. We were gatherers. That's what we did. It wasn't, hey, let's hop in the car and go to the grocery store. So why are we not teaching these things? Because what if, I actually said it today, so
why don't we teach it all?
My part-time job, I should say, I work at Target.
Because everything else is easy.
And so I tell people all the time, at Target, we rely so much on our network to run our system.
Yes. You're busy bees.
I'm like, hey, if our network goes down, what do we do?
Yep.
We close the door. That's what we do.
You have a queen bee.
Exactly.
And if that communication drops,
then you're done.
Nothing happens.
So this is a question for everybody here at the bar, up here. This is a question for everybody, right? So how many people, if the electrical grid was to shut down, if everything shut down, our supply system, everything, we've had a little bit of supply interruption, but honestly, who really suffered here? Okay? Everybody was still able to get shit, right?
That's right.
But honestly, if everything was really just cut off completely, who in here would know what to do and how to survive?
I'm pretty confident in it. I think I can do it.
All right.
I know Wade.
Because
I can hook up with Wade.
Well, and here's the thing.
Well, I guess I have to raise my hand because I'm going with Wade.
Well, see, it's by association. But here's the thing. Not only were you taught that, so that's the question. Were you taught that? Can you survive? But do you have the resources? Have you gone out?
Already planned for it?
Have you made those connections to where you can make a phone call and have that resource?
Here's the biggest thing.
If I have to resort
you
to
wouldn't
that,
be able to
I
make
have
a phone
the
call.
But
You're
I
not
don't
wrong.
want to.
Here's the biggest thing.
Honestly.
So, Wade, for example, if everything shuts down and your only source of protein is to go out in the woods and find a deer,
could you do it?
Most people can be like, yeah, I can shoot a deer, but it's not about shooting it. People don't understand what happens after you shoot a deer. You've got to field dress it. You've got to skin it. You've got to take the meat. You've got to quarter it. You've got to do all of that.
And unless you're eating deer sushi, you got to cook it.
Right.
Hey, guys, here's the problem, though. Most people associate hunting with surviving. That's only a quarter of the process.
That's it.
That's only a quarter of the process. You have weather to deal with. You have to build a shelter. You have to be able to...
Well, a lot of people have the ability to stay in the house that they're at if everything falls apart, if you're set up correctly.
Not everybody has that ability.
Not everybody
But
does.
the question here is,
I have
were you taught that from a young age?
A wood-burning fireplace.
Yeah, but where are you going to get your wood from?
Are you confident enough to go, hey, if crap hits the fan, can I survive, me and my... And I don't think that we're not starting young enough.
Right. Absolutely.
No.
Right.
We're not starting
because
young enough.
everybody on the if you're 20 years old and below, it's my tablet's not working. I don't have Wi-Fi.
That's it. Oh, well, the battery's dead.
Yes.
The battery's
How
dead.
do I learn how to get food because I can't search the internet?
Yeah.
And those are the
It's-
people that
so
are
I-
going to the grocery stores.
So I used to work at FedEx, and like when I worked there, I'm gonna be honest with you. I used a little app that routed me on my entire because I was up in North Alabama
It was,
when I was working there,
I got some food on the way.
and I'm gonna be honest with
it
you,
was really good.
don't know anything about North Alabama. So like, I used my phone, but I worked with a guy. He had run his route so long,
Yeah.
dude would just get in the truck and just go.
Yeah.
And so, are we in our lives? Are we at that place to where we could just get in our truck and go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Can-
it's
can we
being
do that?
content. It's being content.
And he could do. I mean, he could just
Right.
like he could look at you like this. It's kind of crazy. People thought it was creepy. I thought it was hilarious. He'd look at you, and he would tell you your address, and you'd be like, "How in the world do you know that?" And
Yep.
he's like, "Oh, well, I drive for FedEx."
Trust me.
And-
I know.
Exactly.
So
But just because he's had that ingrained in him for so long, he knows it. So that tells, and he's been at it for 30 years. So
we
when it
appreciate
comes-
y'all. Thank you so much for coming in.
Have a
Yeah,
good
be
evening.
careful.
Come
We
back.
love you.
See us
Thank
at
you.
Ivy
Hey,
League.
thank you for the input. However
I'm not,
small it was, we
Hope-
appreciate it.
Hopefully we can see Rocco next
I don't even- I
time.
don't even
Yeah,
work
bring
here.
Rocco.
But when it comes to our young people, because we hear it all the time. You hear the phrase, "The children are the future. The children are the future."
Yes.
Well, if we take our young people and we start instilling in them these things, I'm not worried about it. Right now,
Right.
I'm worried about it.
This is something I want to throw out there right
The
now.
future has changed.
Oh,
Some-
for
Yeah.
sure.
Someone I'm going to shake some things up with. All right. In a study in 2016, they did a fourth grade test, right? So all the fourth graders around the world,
Correct.
and they did a standardized test, and they said, okay, this is kind of gonna gauge where all of the countries are at with their education systems. As much as people would love to hear this right now, guess who was number one?
I don't
Japan.
even have it.
Korea,
I'm gonna say an Asian country. I'm gonna
An
say
Asian country.
Korea,
Yes.
China,
All right. You're all wrong.
U.S.
Canada.
It was not the U.S.
That's what I said.
No.
There's no way it's the U.S.
Canada.
Definitely not the
I
U.S.
work for an international
this is-
company.
Look,
South America of some sort.
This was 7 years ago, okay?
All
So we're looking at Moscow, Russia,
Yeah.
Russia.
You know why
Russia.
their economy is so strong?
because they're so strict.
And they make
have
everything.
structure.
They make everything in their own country.
That's it. They're structured. That's it.
They're
That's-
resourceful.
Okay, we don't have to go down the list, but where does U.S. fall in that? Just out of curiosity.
Way down, I imagine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
I
12,
work for an
13,
international
14,
company,
15,
so it's like a
16.
whole different ballgame
16.
for a whole.
Not
Six-
horrible.
16th. That's still pretty bad. I was hoping top 10.
Well, for one of the most prominent countries that makes such a big difference in the world, right? We should be number one, right? Honestly,
I
we
mean,
should be.
in all reality, yes.
In all reality, we should be number one because we should be teaching the right
well,
things.
at
But obviously,
this point, do we make a big impact on the world in flying a rainbow flag or
We could.
having men dressed as women?
he
teach
really wants to go
children?
here. I don't know why.
This is a different Mead Talk, man. This
It
is
is.
a different Mead Talk.
This is a
That's
talk to
where
get
the
Anna on,
US
okay?
Is right now. That's what we are trying to push.
I
No,
I
yeah,
understand
I
that,
did
and I'm
see
with
it.
you.
I did see a U.S.
too woke.
Army.
We are way
I
too
saw a
woke.
U.S. Army ad where they were like really pushing that. It was like, it was really funny
Yes.
because did
it was
you
the
see
most
that?
pussified
Did you
army
see that? Wait a minute.
ad
Wait a
I've
minute.
ever seen in my
Hold
life.
on. Did you see it where they put it up against the Russian ad for the
Yes,
army, and then
I
they put
did.
our ad up
And
for
the
the army?
Russians look like fucking badasses, and we like fucking bitches.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious. All right, so
It
when
was
I got all the
about-
army,
Dude,
Uh-huh.
this fucking
When I
ad
got-
was.
He's still on the ad.
Oh,
I
yeah.
care about your feelings.
about it.
And I'm in the U.S. Army, and
Yes.
join us.
And
the
we
Russians
care
were
about
like,
your, and it's
fuck
all like,
you, fuck everything. I'm gonna
Yeah.
fuck you
oh
up.
yeah, and they showed like their badass training and stuff, and it was just
That is
awesome.
the Russians for you.
Oh, dude, and they were
But
just like
They
screwing
haven't-
things up.
they
But like when
haven't
I
veered
got,
off of 1980 fucking.
But listen,
two.
I'm
But
not
we
telling you.
have.
I'm not telling you to be especially when it comes to like children, like because I have a soft spot for children. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like children are the future. They really are.
Yes, they are.
And so like it's important to me. Like, hey, show your emotion, but at the same time, know how to control your emotion. Know
Yes.
how to
Absolutely.
show when you're mad. Show when you're glad. Show when you're happy. Show when you're sad. That's fine.
Show it, but don't act on it.
Exactly.
guy?
Let us know.
This isn't it.
This is Nick. Let us
It's so
know.
hard.
Let us know. But like you said, just let us know, and then we're gonna work through it, and we're gonna get past it
Right.
because life goes on.
Now I'll be honest.
This clock does not stop.
I'll be honest. I am from a different generation. I do not show my emotions, nor do I act on my emotions. My wife has asked me constantly, "Do you even have emotions? Are you a?" She is. She will say, "Babe, do I have emotions?
And you know, and that's like
Have you
she's-
seen them lately?
But like, how do you?
When did you see
like,
them?
Reconcile a child who's been taught to hide your emotions and then they don't
When we're sleeping
hide their
naked."
emotions.
It's-
and then like
it's tough, but at the same time, it's all a learning curve because I have kids on both
Mitch,
sides
you
of the
gotta tell him.
spectrum. Like
That's what it was.
being at a private school, I
right.
have all the way from kindergarten all the
Where
way to
do your
12th
kids go?
grade. So my personal, she doesn't go to school yet, but the kids that I teach are all the way from kindergarten to 12th grade. And so I have kids on both sides of the spectrum. Some of them show their emotion. The only emotion they show is mad. Like I have a kid when he gets mad, he's
Anger.
mad. Like anger is the only thing he shows.
Yeah.
When he's happy, you'll never know. When he's sad, you'll never know. But when he gets mad, he'll let you know. And it's I think there's a fine line to say, hey, you can show it, but let's leave it there. Let's show it. Let's not act on it because, and it is an understanding because we're all human. We're all going to have emotion,
We're all sinful by nature.
but we're all sinful by nature. And I think the word here, and this is the core where I think we need to be teaching, regardless of where we are, public school, private school, homeschool, it doesn't matter. We need to teach respect.
yeah.
At the
Yes.
core of it all, we need to teach respect.
My
Okay.
ultimate belief is we need to get rid of separation of church and state. That's my belief.
This is another Mead Talk,
That's-
Robert.
that was
You're
about to
throwing out some
I was about
wild
to say,
ideas right now,
I'll
okay?
get with you there. I'll get with you there, but
Yes.
in another Mead Talk.
Yes. But wait a
but-
minute. So we're talking about respect. All right. So other countries, right? When they introduce a relationship from one to the other, everybody in the U.S. says, "Oh, I can't believe that they arranged this marriage," right?
Mead Talk
Correct.
But
culture.
here's the facts of it.
You're in the
Okay.
Mead Talk
In other
culture.
countries,
It's awesome.
when
man.
they arrange
Yes.
marriages, the commonality between one person
Mary
from
Sherry
the
does
other is usually
Yeah.
the woman
we
respects
got another one.
whatever
next week.
decision is made by the family.
Correct.
Regardless whether they love the husband or
Just-
not.
it's collective.
And the husband
Yeah.
loves the girl,
That's
the
what we do.
wife,
Love them.
regardless of
Talk
whatever
about the stuff people don't
the
want to
the
talk
family chooses or not, right?
That's
And
correct.
because of that mutual agreement, they both learn to love and respect each other. Regardless, you know the average divorce in other countries compared to the U.S. is astronomically different. U.S. is like 50+%.
We're
Well,
at 70%.
Yeah, it's
I feel
ridiculous
like in
now.
I feel like in the U.S.
Yes.
it's all about me, and so like
it is.
and so like
No,
if we,
it's all about me.
and this is it's all about me.
It's all about mead. No, if it was, we'd have a lot more people here.
Yeah.
I was
but-
about to say if it was all about me, then but in all seriousness, it's all about me. So something we need to understand, and it's something I think we need to, and I teach my daughter this, even as young as she is. Emotion is bullcrap. So like a marriage is it's a decision you make every single day when you wake up. It's a
commitment.
decision that you make. I don't love. Oh, I'm in love. Like,
It's a
screw
commitment.
that.
It's a commitment.
It is not just
Yeah.
a feeling you feel.
Yes.
It's because there's some days I'll wake up
Yeah.
and hey, I'll show her this. There's some days I'll look right at the camera. Some days I'll wake up and I want to strangle you, my wife. But you know what? I'm like, hey, I'm gonna love you just like I loved you the day I said I did.
Yes.
And that's what it is. But in America, it's so easy to go.
I don't agree
Because-
with you. Bye,
wait,
Well,
Felicia.
and here's
Wait,
the thing.
it's
in,
easy-
in America.
Hold
it's
on.
hey, here's $99. We can get a
But
divorce.
wait a minute.
Right,
No,
yeah.
no. That's not it. It's easy for women to get a divorce. It's not easy for men to.
Why you say that?
because women can take half of everything you own. Men
Lies.
do not get that choice.
I mean,
It depends on what.
It does not depend at
that's
all.
that's
It
another.
Mostly-
I feel like that's
Like,
another. Mead
Normally,
I have to disagree because when my wife cheated on me,
talk. Ex-wife.
Ex-
Sorry, ex-wife.
it was his
Okay.
wife at the time.
when
Wife at the time.
Talking
ex-wife.
past tense, okay?
when my ex-wife, not my current beautiful, lovely wife that I have to go sleep in the same bed with, that I absolutely
that he
love
has all the emotion for.
that bed and show her complete emotion. She did not
No
divorce
sarcasm
me.
whatsoever.
Yeah, she is not giving us the middle finger because she loves me so much.
Respect
That
you.
lady,
She respects me.
she respects.
Yes. So the ex-wife did not get anything because she cheated, and I got everything because
But you were able to prove that, right?
Yes,
But
absolutely.
yeah, and,
But
and,
that's
and,
why
I
I
get
normally-
and I get that, but I think
On a consensual basis. Like normally,
Yes.
men have to give up most of what they
Yes.
have.
yes,
right?
exactly.
Even if she cheats. Yes.
Correct.
That's why in current day
Wait,
it is
go
not
ahead. Hold on, Matt.
it's not economical for a man to get married
Wait.
in current day, right?
Hold on. Let her speak from
Yeah,
a
go for it.
woman's perspective. Wade, we love you, brother.
It's not about him though, because
Wade's like, no, I'm done with this shit. I want to go home.
this is my second love. But like the father of my
No.
children,
This is your first
it was
love.
like no, he
It's your
True
first
love.
real love.
Yeah.
real love. That's the
Look.
word.
He
really
He-
There you go.
because
We love
from
Wade,
like
Okay.
I don't know 16, 17 years old. I thought I loved this man. We got married. We did the whole thing, all of that, and then he cheated on me with my best friend.
Oof.
And
I'm in the same boat as you.
yeah, so then it was.
Oh, you
just
had a man
like,
cheat on you with your best friend?
Yeah, it's
he
horrible.
cheated-
That's
yeah.
it happens. It's real life.
Yeah,
It's real life.
It's real life.
yeah.
But
His
I-
name was not Wade though.
No.
I think
No,
yeah.
it's not
Wade would never do that to you, Matt.
The only thing Wade is going to cheat on you with is Ivy League Brew.
That's it.
Is that right,
Shameless
Wade?
plug.
Yes.
I think
I said the only way that you're going to cheat on her is with Ivy League Brew, and that's
it.
okay.
The only
We got
way.
your back, brother.
The only way.
You want to keep that number one spot, you'll keep cheating, buddy. I don't even work here, man. Like that's
With
awesome.
all of that
Anyway.
being,
Right. Still a good.
I might as well just put me on the payroll.
with all
Wait,
of that
wait, here he
being
is.
said,
He wants
Hey,
the microphone.
I think he wants the mic.
the microphone.
We got to get him on the mic.
Yeah, we got to get.
He's
him
got
on
to
the
get up
mic.
here first.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't have your children.
We need you. Wait, we need you
Biblically.
on the, we
Dude,
need you on the
I
mic.
Women
We need you on the
in,
mic.
in the Bible.
Matt,
I know
I'm
what he's saying.
I'm gonna be honest, Matt. I thought he meant Ivy League, and I was like,
Yeah.
y'all
Yeah,
give
that's
away
what I
No,
thought.
he did too.
No, we need you on the mic. We need to hear this. People need to hear this.
I mean, I know you
But
want to be
you're-
number
you're-
one.
Okay, so I
Wade,
will
you're
repeat
correct.
what you say. Say it again. We owe everything to
to
women.
women. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We have to respect them
Yes.
as men. Okay. They
They give us life. Yes.
They give us love. Okay. So that's where that's where
I'm in
my
agreement.
opinion it's like it's the same but it's just a little bit different, right?
Biblically, biblically.
I owe everything to my wife, and here's why: because she respects me, right? Because she builds me up as a man, right?
That's right.
And so if she didn't do that, I would not be the man I am today, right? But love is different. Love is yeah.
That's right.
Love is
if
different,
my wife
right?
didn't nag me all the damn time about something, it would
How the
never
frick
get
would
done.
I get anything done, right?
Yes.
How would I get
It
anything
would-
done, right? How would I get
Oh,
anything
the
done?
reminder.
And
No,
that's
look,
why
hey,
she loves
the
me.
reminder-
Look, we
I
are
was
not
gonna say
saying. See,
comments like
this is.
that.
Oh wait, this is where people.
But if you're not
no,
taught
but
that from the beginning,
but this is-
like,
this is really good.
it's a two-way
This is really good, Wade,
right?
because
Yes.
Yes.
from what we've said, I don't know where you have gotten the idea that we have ever degraded women at all.
yeah,
In their
Right.
like, I am totally in respect for women. I'm totally in love with women, right? Especially
Same.
just specifically my wife, right?
Same.
So women are so sacred, and that is the problem. We have lost the sacredness of women,
That's it.
right? We have lost that sacredness.
Matt, in our belief, and anybody else who may be listening, in our belief, they were made for us, from us. You know what I'm saying? So like,
yeah,
like
so
so
which
we've
makes it
lost that
even more
connection.
sacred.
Exactly.
For
We've
us to
lost that
protect
connection.
them, for us to be there for
You
them,
got it.
for us to be their providers, to be there
You got
to
it.
make sure that they have everything that they need, but
Biblically,
also
it's
But
for
we-
them to support
that
everything
women
that we do.
are the
We
queens
should reciprocate too. Like,
and
Yes.
men are
it's
the
not-
kings, but the
Yes.
kings are to respect
That's
and
it.
to listen to their queens.
That's it.
Yeah.
Biblically, it's in the Bible.
That's what I'm
it.
saying, man.
In our
There's
beliefs,
this.
that's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's that. So I'm sorry if there was a misunderstanding there.
It's in
And
the
so-
Bible, babe. Look it up.
So here's why I bring up. Original point in the conversation. Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
that is not
but
fair.
It's not.
That is not fair.
But it's not.
Okay. No. Yeah.
Well,
so
not-
I don't
not in
agree.
all
I get what he's
cases.
I get what he's
So
saying.
okay, so
Not
I
in
don't.
all
Okay, here's
cases.
the problem that we're all having right now is that the government should not be involved in marriage, right?
No.
Agreed.
They should not.
Agreed.
And so everybody agrees on that point, right?
For sure.
So and that is the problem wholeheartedly. Who decides who gets the kids, who doesn't? It's the government, right?
Unfortunately. Yes.
Unfortunately, right?
And then who decides who gets paid what? If you're going to talk, you need a microphone.
Yeah, seriously. Nobody else
Oh,
knows
yeah.
what you're saying, so.
Wade has custody of his kids because
Why?
Well, and
That's
okay,
why-
Because
so
he's a better dad than
Yeah.
she is a mother, right?
facts.
and that's
yeah.
And
So
that's
what is wrong
fair.
with that? Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Absolutely
I
nothing.
just don't feel.
Nothing at all.
Has decided,
Yeah.
and it was
But
a fight,
here-
wasn't it?
Here's where
It was
I'm
a
at.
damn good fight,
Here's
but you won.
here's where I'm at with that though.
Yes.
Like from the whole reason I'm
Send him
here.
off to camp now.
The whole reason you're here, buddy.
The whole reason
Hey, we
I'm
are
here-
almost done with this Mead Talk. So, hey guys, let our guests talk real quick.
So
Yeah, we got it, we
whole
got it.
reason I'm here, and so yeah, I do teach in a private school, and I understand that. But even if I was at a public school,
Right.
from a young age, you need to teach. You need to teach gender roles. First off, you need to
Yes.
teach. Hey, what is a man supposed to look like? What's a woman supposed to look like? That's what you're supposed to. Let's start there, and then after that, let's go to that. Hey, this is respect. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, some of my best friends in the entire world did not. And this is going to the belief thing.
No,
They
let's
don't
do it.
believe in Jesus Christ. But some of my best friends don't. But they'll give you the shirt off their back in a heartbeat because of the people that they are. Because they learn respect from a young age.
But they are that much closer to Jesus than they think they are.
Than they think they
Yeah.
are.
Exactly.
So
That's
if we
why I've
teach
told-
gender roles and then we teach respect, that next point, which is love, would be seamless. It would
Yeah.
be easy. And then everything
understand
else
that.
would fall into place.
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
Every single thing would
it's
fall
that
into
one
place.
missing block.
That's it.
Yep.
You nailed it. That's it. And so that's
Yep.
what me entering the education system. Yes, I teach physical education. Yes, I studied it. And I tell our AD all the time, I said, look, man, football is only the avenue. I coach football just to be around these young men.
Right.
Because some of them don't have fathers.
Some of them need structure.
Some of them
They need
need
it.
that
Some of
structure.
them
Yes.
fathers are
And
assholes.
that's
Yes.
they're either you're correct. They're either terrible fathers or they're not even present.
Okay.
they
So
don't
for
know
me
what a
to
man
be there,
is.
For me to be there and to just to be that person they can come to and be comfortable with, why wouldn't I want to be there for them?
Exactly.
So,
So if we teach that from the base, and regardless of where we are, public, private, home, it doesn't matter. If we teach
Right.
that, and that has nothing to do with religion, that has to do with being a human being.
but that is a core aspect of school that should be taught, right?
I agree.
It's something that should be taught that is
That's it.
completely disregarded in our school systems
That's it.
nowadays. And so here's where I'm coming from.
We're gonna have to fucking go Mead Talks for 2 hours. This
We
shit-
really are.
this
We're
shit
gonna have to
doesn't-
start this shit
it
at 7.
can't- Yes, it can't.
Jeez,
last
Lord
for an
Almighty.
hour.
It's
It
like
just
we
isn't
always
gonna
go to
happen.
an hour
We're
and
almost
20
an hour,
minutes
20
every
minutes.
every time.
then that's quite all
But
right.
you know,
it's good conversation.
so
Say
much
it.
to say, so
it.
much
You
to
got it.
say.
Say it.
But so current day, it's starting to
I've had enough
change
Mary Cherry
to
say
where
it.
judges are recognizing that fathers have rights too, right?
That's correct.
So, but over the last 10 years, it's been a little bit different, you know? And I know this from personal experience and just statistics, right? So if you look at statistics, no matter what the father does,
Right, and then I have a kid.
normally the mother gets parental rights, right?
Correct.
Normally, they have the say, right? And that's usually the case. Now, is it always right? No. Is it sometimes right? Yeah, and that's okay. But the fact remains, and we've stated this statistic on another Mead Talk before, is that if a father is present in the lives of their children, they are 90 so the difference between a father being present and a father not being present is about a 40% difference of them going to prison or not.
I raised
It is drastically different
Oh.
whether the mother is there or not.
That's incredible. That's too
So,
high of a number. It's too big of a difference.
Well, and the reason is because the aggression is there in men and the aggression is not so much there. The agreeableness isn't more likely in women, right? Women are more likely agreeable in nature, whereas men are more likely aggressive in nature, right? And that is just a normal thing that happens in our physiology, right? And so that is why when you see a video of a father getting onto their child, like really, really, getting onto them, oh, you're talking to your mother like that. Just see what happens when I get home, They understand. There's a respect there that happens. Oh crap,
yeah.
I'm gonna get a whooping, or my father's really mad at me. Even just the emotional attachment to your father being mad at you is much greater than your mother being mad at you.
correct.
In most
Y'all be
instances,
careful.
right?
Appreciate y'all coming by.
Thank y'all so much. We appreciate
Hope you enjoyed all the mead.
Adios, mi amigos.
Good deal. We'll see you back. I totally don't work here.
But-
Here's where I'm at, and the whole reason I'm here. The education system needs to be beefed up. But here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say, and this is my strong belief, is that, and this is how it used to be. So I'm not saying anything that's new, but it
Yep.
starts at home.
Yes, it does.
It starts, and it doesn't do that anymore.
No.
To where back when I was a kid, my parents would send me to school, and they'd be like, hey, if he does this, you guys handle it.
Yep.
Now it's, hey, there's no way my child would do that. There's no way they would do that.
Bullshit.
And so it's changed drastically, but it starts
here's
at home.
here's my belief. When I send my kid to school, I'm under the impression that these particular things are going to happen, and I'm going to have to deal with it because I know who the frick my child is,
Exactly.
and I know he's going to act out in this way when this person does this because I've seen it at home, right?
Well, not only that, that's how I've taught them.
Yeah.
That's how I've brought them up. So I know that, hey, if this were to happen at school, this is going to happen, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But for me to go to a parent and say, oh, well, this happened, and they argue it.
Now, here's another thing, though. I had this instance happen, before, and luckily I had a high schooler that handled it who was on the same bus, right? So we had a child that was on a bus with another child that was picking on my child, right?
Yep.
Just bullying the shit out of him. And you know what? I tell my child, look, you got a bully, you freaking deal with it. That's
part
not
of
my
our-
job, right? You handle that shit. If he's bullying you, punch him in the freaking mouth. I don't give a crap. Knock his ass out.
Yeah.
He won't bully you. He won't come after you anymore.
Yeah.
Or at
Yeah.
least stand up for
Anytime.
yourself, or you get the crap kicked out of you.
Oh.
That's
Do it.
the
Cut 'em out.
case. Whatever it is, you stand up for yourself regardless. I bet there's a better outcome on the other side.
But
Luckily, my high schooler interjected,
Yeah.
and because they're on the same bus, so middle school, high school rides the same bus for Pelham, right? And he was like, hey, you mess with my brother again, basically, and he stopped messing with him. And I'm like, that's really cool, but what happens when he doesn't have, when you're not there?
Yeah. Exactly.
He needs to be able to stand up for himself.
No, I agree
Not
with that.
just
Yeah,
not
for
just in this instance, but in life in general. That's where I try to teach my kids at a young age. You have to be able to handle your situations on your own, regardless of who's there to help you.
Well, historically, that's how it is. If we're teaching history in the way that it is and what has happened, because we've gotten away from that as well. But if you look back in history, that's what they do. That's what they've done from, like, not going too deep into it, but like, I'm Native American.
In history.
And so if you look back at like what happened to Native Americans, yes, they fought for themselves.
Yes.
That's what we need to be teaching our kids. We need to, hey, listen, I understand what the school's going to tell you, but I'm telling you, you stand up for what's right. You understand.
1776, don't let them bully you.
That's it.
We don't agree with bullies.
That's
So
it.
what
Fight
do we
back.
tell them? Like, fight back, don't fight back?
Fight back.
No, you
Tell
fight
tell
back.
Me,
You
like,
fight. You fight back.
if it is
Honorable.
yes.
I realize
That's it.
you've been fighting this demon for 6 months. and the
I'll put it to
school
you this
can't
way.
do anything about it, but
My parents.
Well, the sad reality is that schools don't do anything about
My
it. That's the
parents-
sad
My
reality.
parents always told me, do not ever start the fight, but you
But you end it.
damn well
But you
better
can
finish it.
You better end it. Yeah.
And I
that-
did. I
and that's
finished
just the thing.
every fight that was started with me.
That's just the thing that we need to teach. Again, it's a
But that
respect
was-
thing. You got to give respect to get it, right?
Right.
And so if there's somebody that's coming to you that is disrespecting you, guess what? Give it right back. Don't respect them.
Slap the teeth out of their
Make
mouth.
them learn. Make them earn your respect.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell my daughter.
I
mean,
just
from-
don't feel like some of the
from the
schools
get-go.
are, like, down with that.
Well,
Like,
they're definitely not.
They're
Schools,
not.
They'll
And that's
kick you
where
right
the
the fuck
parents
out.
come in and you raise
In
hell.
my school, if they
Raise
see this,
hell.
they're going to be like, "What are you saying?"
This is what you do.
But here's the thing. That's historically, even as a country, that's what we have done.
Mhm.
If somebody disrespected us, guess what we did? We popped them in the mouth.
And this
Agree.
this is
I
what you do.
completely agree.
This is what you do. You can't get some trouble for fighting, just defending himself, not starting a fight, not bullying, all that goodness.
Oh, that's right.
Look,
But
our
they
president right
they
now,
get-
if you can't walk up the stairs, you're fine.
here's the thing though. You're
comments.
cool. Look, your kid comes back from school, he gets in a fight for defending himself. You go to the teachers and the principal and you say, "Look, this is completely valid. First of all, I don't give a crap if you suspend them. I don't give a crap if you expel them, but he is going to beat the living crap out of anybody who does the same thing to them again. And here's the case. If you want to start a ruckus about it, how about we do this? Every time you send homework home, I'm going to send a backpack full of dishes to the school for you to wash. Here's why. Because you're supposed to teach the kid at school how to learn, not bring home a bunch of work for us to do at family time, right? So if the homework intervenes with the family time, then I'm gonna intervene the schoolwork with the family things that we have to do, right? So you're gonna wash dishes at school, whereas we're gonna do homework at home. That's fair. That seems fair to me, right? So don't send any freaking homework home and not expect anything to come back to school. Amen?
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, can I get an amen?
I mean, makes sense. I mean,
Amen.
that's like I said, at the core of it all, we need to teach. I think that our education system, we need to teach practical things. Like at our school, us having a financial class, to me is so much. It's getting them prepared for what they're going to see. And as much as I love the fact that 2 times 2 equals 4, I love that. Man, let's teach that in 5th grade. Let's teach that in 4th grade. Let's teach that back in elementary school. But in high school, let's get to the point where, hey, this is how you sew. Because here's the thing. I'm 32 years old. I can sew, but it looks terrible.
Yeah.
I can't really do it efficiently.
Yeah.
Let's teach them how to sew. Let's teach them how to cook. Let's teach them how to clean. Let's teach them how to use their money. That way, when we get rid of them, when they graduate, we know that they're sustainable. We know that they can live and be okay.
Here's the problem, though. Here's the problem with the education system is we think that kids are dumb, right? We think that they can't learn these things early on, right? We think that kids can't learn algebra in first, second, third, fourth grade, right? Like, that's freaking ridiculous. Algebra is so simple, and it can be learned in elementary school.
Correct.
The problem is we have no freaking standards, and we completely have disregarded our standards as a nation.
Yeah.
We continually push back our standards for the lowest grade person in the school, right? So the person who may not quite get it, and that's okay. If that person doesn't quite get it, that's fine. They'll probably quite get something else that other people don't quite get, like me, right? I wasn't the person that quite got everything in school. But you know what I was interested in? I was interested in how water works. And nobody else in my school was interested in how water works. But you know what I learned through how water works? I learned quantum physics. I learned some freaking incredible things about how water works. So you know what? Who still doesn't understand how water works, but I do? Every freaking scientist on the earth. Nobody knows how water works, but I understand how it works. Why? Because I studied the shit out of it because I was interested in it. And that's the thing is nobody wants to sit there with a child and say, what are you interested in?
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. We need to, I think we need to, here's something that I think we need. I think we need to take, I'm going to use the word survey throughout the U.S. Hey, what's something that you could benefit from? Even from a young age, hey, what could you benefit from to learn about?
Yeah.
And then when they answer that, we say, okay, well, that's what we're going to learn.
Oh, we're gonna update it here soon.
Because in reality,
he's my
is
type
it
of
important to learn how
asshole.
to spell Constitution if we don't know what it is?
Yeah.
We're gonna get him a step ladder.
So
He's
I think
getting
it's
older
important to
and
teach
shorter.
what's important, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
Do we know how to spell Constitution? That really doesn't matter if we don't know what it is.
That's exactly it.
It's pretty important. That's why we're doing a Constitution series. We have a lawyer coming on here soon to talk about the Constitution. Because we did an initial series where we started the Constitution. We only really got through like the first article. Because it gets really, the Constitution is a very short document, but
Correct.
it's very open, right,
Yeah.
for discussion. And so it's really cool. But
We do too.
hey, we appreciate you coming on tonight.
Yes, sir. I
Everybody,
appreciate it.
I know they're having their own side conversations
Yeah,
over here, but
it's-
hey, thank you so much,
It's mead on
everybody.
mead.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in for the Mead Talk. We
Are we
will
done?
we will
We
get
are.
to
I think
some
we're
other
doing it, yep.
subjects later on. Hey,
It's
Yeah,
another
we're
meat
done.
talk.
Remember
You
me?
should-
You'll have to tune in next
you
week.
guys were having your own conversation.
Yeah.
We're done.
We're
Oh,
done.
We're
done.
We had a really
D-O-N-E.
good conversation.
Done.
Hey.
What happens
D-O-N.
next Sunday?
Honestly, I think the
Next Sunday,
consensus-
Shane Kelly. He's
Yes.
coming in, and we are going to do
Interstellar.
Interstellar
Yes.
owner. We're
Some
going to
of
talk.
the best.
So
yeah,
we're
best
gonna
ginger
talk
beer.
about a couple of things, right? So we're gonna talk about
The beer that makes your stomach glow.
oh yeah,
That's
Yeah,
we'll do
we're
that.
talking about glowing pea, right?
Glowing
And then
pea.
we're also going to talk.
I'm
Wait a
just
minute.
being honest.
Wait a minute. We're also going to talk about what it is to create an industry or create an alcohol business in this state. We're also going to talk about permaculture because that's where he's kind of going. Permaculture.
on the stage.
Just
So-
tune in next week. You'll learn.
Tune in next
You'll
week.
learn.
We appreciate everybody who came out. We believe that this is a great opportunity for everybody to come to the table, talk about what they want to talk about, wherever it leads, from me drinking mouths and me drinking thoughts. We love everybody here. We're so thankful for everybody being included. By the way, we love women as well.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry for that misconception. I don't know where
love
that
my
came
wife.
from. I have
I
been
love
called.
you.
Look, I've been called by a particular individual a misogynist, but we worked it out, because, there is also another side to that. There is
That's right.
misandry, which is, the hate of men, right? But I love women, and
That's
I love
another
my
Mead
wife,
Talk.
and I
It
love
goes
the
both
people
ways.
around me.
Matt, that's another
Like-
Mead Talk.
And so
It does go both
it goes
ways.
both ways. And so,
That's right.
look, we love everybody, and thank you so much for coming out and participating.